Hi, I'm Nick Rains from Leica Camera Australia. I have the Leica Lux Grip here in this box. Beautiful box, as Leica always do. Here it is. Beautifully engineered, beautifully finished. Lovely, lovely little device. And this fits on the back of my phone. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that just briefly, because it's incredibly easy. But let's talk about how you connect it, because that's a really important discussion. All right, I'm just going to take it off again, because it's much easier for me to demonstrate with it in my hand like this than it is to actually hold the whole thing so you can see what my fingers are doing. The first thing is critically important. Don't try and connect to the grip from your phone using the normal Bluetooth commands and the settings in your phone. If you do that, it won't work. You have to use the Leica Lux app to connect to the grip. So you need to download, install the app, then fire it up, then connect to the grip. So let's do that right now. Let's put that there. I'm going to bring up the Lux app, and pretty much out of the box it'll look something like that. In the bottom right hand corner, it may be in the A mode or it may be in the P mode. Either way, click on that button, bottom right hand corner, and click menu. Then just almost near the bottom, you'll see a grey panel saying grip, pair a grip. Fairly obvious. Follow the instructions here and you will have no problems at all. So choose the Leica Lux Grip, and then you need to hold the shutter button, which is a silver button on top of the device, for a few seconds, and you'll see a little blue light shining on the bottom of the grip. And when that's flashing, click the red button that says LED is flashing. That will take you to the next screen. Hold the two function buttons on the top of the grip for a few seconds. It will search for the Leica Grip, and bingo. Don't tap where it says Leica Lux Grip. Tap connect at the bottom. Then it will ask to pair. There it goes, pair, and grip connected. Now, if you go into the operating system settings for Bluetooth, you'll see the grip is actually listed as a connected Bluetooth device. But you've got to do it this way around, otherwise it won't work. All right, let's have a talk about the app itself. So on the top, as you've already realized, there's three buttons. There's a silver shutter button, acts just like any camera shutter button, and there's two function buttons on the top either side, just behind it as you look at it. So what do those buttons do? Well, there's a really neat way that this grip interfaces with the app. Let me just show you how it works. Right now, if you look at the bottom right hand corner on the app, you'll see we're in A mode. If I tap that, I can go to photo mode, and now we see a P. Let me just go back to where we were. Now, it's a much easier way of doing that, and that is simply to click the top left-hand button as you look at it, and it will now change to P mode. So that top left-hand button is how you cycle between A and P mode. P for photo is basically allowing the app to work like your normal camera app. There are no camera lens emulations available, but you do have exposure compensation. If you go to aperture mode, A mode, clicking again to aperture mode, this is where you see the lens emulations. Okay, so either way, the app works much the same way, just with certain different options available to you. Broadly speaking, the interface is the same between both modes. Top left, top right, bottom left-ish, so 2/3 down the left-hand side. There are three buttons. Top left currently is level indicator on, top right is histogram on and off, and the bottom left is the grid on and off. So those can be customized by long pressing on that button, and then you can change its function to something that works for you. Let me just show you how the grip interfaces with the app though, because we have a dial on the front of the grip, and that dial is also clickable. On the app on the phone now, you should see above the grid icon, bottom left-hand side, there's a red bar. It's a little bit tricky to see. You might not have noticed it. That is indicating what the dial is kind of connected to. So right now, the dial is operating the grid mode. And if I dial the dial now with my forefinger, it will turn on and off that grid, okay? Because the red bar is next to the grid. If I click the dial, it will move the red bar, it'll cycle through different functions. And the first time I click it, it should flick across to the Leica Lux, which is on the right-hand side. And if I dial the dial now, it will cycle through the various looks that are available to me. I know the camera's not pointing at anything interesting at the moment because it's on the stand, but you get the idea. And then I can click it again and it will take me to the aperture. And now I can use the dial to change the aperture of whatever lens I happen to be emulating. What happens if I want to change the lens? Well, that's easy. You use the top right hand custom button to click and cycle through the different lenses. So Noctilux, Leica 1A, Summilux, Apotelit, Summilux 28, Summilux 34, back to Noctilux. And I am just clicking that dial to cycle through them. So whatever that little red bar is on is what the dial will operate. And you move the red bar by clicking the dial to cycle through those settings. So it's really, really straightforward. There's no particular clever little gotchas here or anything, but it really, once you've realized that those buttons are customizable and the little red bar shows you what the dial and the click on the dial are operating, it's a very, very easy app to use indeed. I'm just going to go back to photo mode because there's one other thing which I really like. This is nothing to do with the lens emulations, just photography in general, is you'll now see where the aperture was is now a little scale. This is exposure compensation, and with the histogram turned on, you now have a really nice way of darkening or lightening the picture and using the histogram like you would do with a normal camera to judge your exposure. So I find that really effective. So really, there's not a lot more to discuss about this. Going back to fitting it on the back, let the mag lock into place. So you can rotate the back into a vertical position for vertical photographs or maybe square pictures for Instagram, something like that. And then the phone just sits really nicely in your hand with that grip. It's pretty firm, the magnet. I mean, you've got to pull reasonably hard to get it off. So I think it's pretty secure. And of course, you can take it off and fit it into the little accessory case, which you can buy separately. So all in all, that is a really nice way to operate your phone. Fits really nicely in my hand. It feels more secure. So pop into the store, have a look, see what you think. And I think you will be very impressed with the way it works.